Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Health Evaluation Training Call. My name is Paul Croto. I'm a five-star executive here at Youngevity, and I'm really excited to be with you here live today, going over some exciting changes that we have been working on for a long time with this health evaluation system. As you may have known, we made some changes a while back last year, and changes that had to be made, and I'll go through why they had to be made in this presentation today. But, it's always a read and react kind of situation where we know exactly what we want to do. We got to accomplish it in a certain way and have it make sense to people. That's what's really important. So first of all, the health evaluation system, in my opinion, and I've showed this to other people in the network marketing industry, is not just the best system in Youngevity, but all of network marketing, all of sales, really. The whole thing is that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. That's why weight loss is so cool. It's an industry where you can have somebody get on a scale, be unhappy with that weight, give them a program to follow, and then they get on the scale and the scale goes down. And they like, oh my gosh, this worked. It's proof. It's a number. It's measurable. And no, there's a saying that if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. So you got your checkbook, you got to check your checking account and see, you manage your money, right? You got the balance, you can go and it's numbers. So it's so easy to manage. Your weight's easy to manage. Your business is easy to manage. It's all numbers. How's your business doing? Well, let's go check your volume last month. Let's check your volume this month. And if it went up, it's going good. If it went down, it is not going good. Okay, so this is super simple. The problem is that health is not that clear. At least it wasn't until now. So when we developed this, and I got to give kudos to Dr. Wallach for helping us with this, to Cheryl Morley for her help with this, and to Melissa Miller-Harris. She's a four-star executive here at Youngevity, and our programmers, Angie Moore, who's got a lot of programs out there that are fantastic, that we'll be talking about more. And she's just been a huge resource to us behind the scenes. A lot of you don't know who she is yet, but we'll be, bringing her to the forefront more because she's just brilliant. So it took a lot to put this whole thing together, to make Dr. Wallach's brain a system, but we've done that. And not only have we done that, but we've been able to quantify it. Meaning put it into real numbers. And this has been extremely difficult to do because of the human body. And what I mean by that is, so we had like 30 questions in category 1. Now, category 1 is considered to be anything hard tissue in your body. So we're asking people these questions. They may seem kind of ridiculous, but they all have to do with a calcium deficiency, a magnesium deficiency, and we're looking for signs in the body that would point to us saying that this is your problem, okay? And that's why Dr. Wallach is the only doctor in the world that is smart enough to do this, and he understands how the body works. So let me try to give you an overview of how the body works in a nutshell. So let's just take simple. 2 people have a calcium deficiency, okay? And one is going in for knee surgery, okay? Because the calcium in their body's low. Therefore, the cartilage, the hard tissue in their knee is deteriorated over the years. And it showed up in that person's body as a knee problem, okay? So in this other person's body, who's also calcium deficient, their blood pressure is bad, got high blood pressure. Okay, so the blood pressure is this pump, it's contractions and releases. So it's the heart's pumping, and when it contracts like this, calcium relaxes, magnesium. So we're asking all these questions to see if you got a this problem or a this problem. Okay, so there's a rhyme and a reason to all the questions that Dr. Wallach asks. Took us a while to figure out, how his brain connects dots together, but it's brilliant. But here's the problem. So in the person who's having the knee surgery, we test their blood pressure and it's fine. And we check the knees in the person that has the high blood pressure, and that person's knees are fine. So different deficiencies in different nutrients. So we have 90 essential nutrients. So the symptoms that show up in people are different in every person. Okay? So just because you have a calcium deficiency doesn't mean you're going to have a blood pressure problem. And just because you have a calcium deficiency doesn't mean you're going to have a knee problem or a hip problem. You know, so it shows up in everybody differently. So this isn't like a school test, this health evaluation system where we can add up the points and say, oh, you know, you have this problem, because the problems don't show up in everybody's bodies the same. So it's very confusing, I understand. But I hope you followed that somewhat, in that we have to ask enough questions in each category to try to connect some dots. But just because, let's just say, so now I'll give you one. So we reduced the questions in each category by 10 because we just felt like the health evaluation itself was too long. So we want to make this easier to take, trying to simplify things. So now we're asking 20 questions in each category. But don't be surprised if they score zeros on, 17 out of the 20 questions. That's normal. And then, well, there's only these 3 questions that they got points on. So, Paul, you're being unfair to people. You're scamming people. You're telling people the wrong information because they only got points in these 3 questions. All the rest of them are totally fine. I don't understand why you're recommending more calcium to this person, or more magnesium, or glucogel, or collagen. It's because it shows up differently in every person. So just because they got 17 questions out of 20 at 0 doesn't mean that they don't have a severe calcium deficiency or severe magnesium deficiency or whatever the nutrient is. Because in that person, it's only showing up maybe 2 or 3 different ways. But they're significant enough, now if it's just showing up in 1s and 2s in 3 questions, probably not a big deficiency. But if you got 1, 2, or 3 questions at 5, like, it's time to call 911 for this problem. It's a major, severe calcium deficiency. And I know people have struggled in saying that, Paul, this just doesn't make sense to me, because these other 17 questions or other, we've had 30 questions. So, maybe they scored high points in like 2 of them, but then the other 28 were all zeros, and so I understand, as health coaches, you're reading this, you're trying to help the people you love and your clients, and you're confused because you're like, Paul, I can't wrap my mind around this because you only got 10 points in this. So in Dr. Wallach's mind, if they got 1 or 2 or 3 points, no big deal. If they got 4, 5, 6, kind of a big deal. 7, 8, 9, 10, huge deal. 10 or more, we got the sirens going off. Okay, that's like huge calcium deficiency or huge nutrient deficiency when you just reach 10. And it doesn't matter how many questions there are. It could be 20 questions or 200 questions. It doesn't matter, because we could ask if you have, so let's just take myself, for example. Okay. So I don't have a calcium deficiency. I take tons of calcium. I take tons of magnesium, super healthy. You could ask me 2,000 questions about my hard tissue in my body, and I would score 0 on all of them. So it's not about the number of questions at all. It's not about, so lowering them or increasing the questions makes no difference. What matters is looking for higher scores, or actually looking for a total score in a category. And I know a lot of people are saying, Paul, this doesn't make any sense to say, doesn't matter how many questions you ask. It doesn't matter, because as soon as you get to 10, there could be 2,000 questions. Okay, let's just say we took an extreme, we had 2,000 questions here. And we, the first question was a 4, second question was a 4, and this third question was a 3. Boom, that we don't even need to ask anymore, because the sirens are going off. They got a deficiency in that category. So Now we have to ask a lot of questions because of all the different ways it can show up in someone's body. So we try to keep it to a minimum amount of questions, so it's not 2,000 questions long, but enough questions where we're covering all the possibilities of what could be showing up in their body. Okay? Hope that makes sense. So just to be crystal clear, each category is separate from each other, but there's a total health score. And, again, in any one of the categories, 1 point, up to like 4 points. So it could be like 4 points in one question or like 4 ones. Okay, maybe they got something going on here. We're not totally sure. At least we're going to call it, there's definitely signs now, at least at 4 points in any one category. There's definitely a hint, a sign that there's a deficiency, a nutrient deficiency in that category. As soon as you get to 5, 6, 7 points in one category, now we're like, hey, there's a pretty significant deficiency. Now, when you get to 7, 8, 9, 10 points in one category, it's alarms are going off. It's an absolute sign that there's a severe deficiency. And listen, there's people that are scoring 20 points in one category. And how many dots do you need to connect here before we can confidently say with integrity to that person, listen, you got a severe calcium deficiency, you got a severe magnesium deficiency, whatever the nutrient is, we can come out and say that with absolute certainty that problem exists. And again, it doesn't matter how many questions we ask, because once we hit that magical number of 10, the sirens go off. So it doesn't matter what happens after that. It's just, we know it's bad. So that being said, let's, I kind of did that rant there to explain an overview of this, but let's dive into the changes that are being made, and I can explain more as we go along here. So make sure you're drinking your water. Staying hydrated. So let's talk about it. So at the first, you have 2 links, okay? You have a health evaluation link, and then you have an info site. Okay, so I like sending people to the info site. I'll do a ton of training on exactly what I do and make sure it's super accessible. I'm going to create some modules inside of this health evaluation system community so that when you come on board, you know exactly how to get your GoDaddy domain name and what I put on my business cards and how I exactly do all of this. So what we need to, when you go to send people to your health evaluation website, the actual evaluation site, we had the words "who referred you" right on the first page in a blank there, which confused a lot of people because, I would send out my health evaluation to a person, and they'd call me and say, okay, Paul, why did you ask me who referred you? You're the one who gave me the link. So we removed that now. So it doesn't say who referred you on that front page. It asks you that later in the evaluation, because when you send someone your link, it is your link. It is your health evaluation system. So we don't want to have on the front there like it's some generic page they're at and they're not feeling confident that it's you. Like if they think that it's like some generic page that their information, their personal information is going to be shared or something like that, they may be hesitant in even filling it out or filling it out honestly, so there's a lot of things going on in people's minds. So we want to make sure that they know this is your site. You and that person are the only 2 people in the world that can see that information. Don't call me and ask me to, find a health evaluation because you lost it. It's gone forever. There's 2 copies of it. You got one, they got one. So that is being fixed. It's being moved to the last page so that if you have a friend, let's just say, that took the health evaluation and is working with you, getting great results, and they want to refer people to you, but they don't actually want to buy a health evaluation system. They may not even want to be a Youngevity distributor. So they can send your link to their friends. Their friends go to the link, take the evaluation. At the end, it says, who referred you? So they can put in, oh, well, Joe Smith referred me. So that when I get the health evaluation back, I'm wondering, who the heck is this person, Jennifer? But when I get to the end, I see, oh, Joe Smith took my link, sent it to Jennifer. Jennifer filled this out. So now I have it because this is a referral from Joe Smith. And I might call, I would call Joe Smith and thank him for the referral, probably give him a little, something for that. Try to get him actually sign up as a distributor here at Youngevity so that he can earn some commission off of referring Jenny to me. Some people want that, some people don't, but we need to be really intentional on getting referrals from people. We're helping so many people with their health that it's only right that we ask for referrals and have people refer people to us, even if they don't want to work this Youngevity business themselves. So that's a way of letting that happen and you knowing what the heck's going on and where this health evaluation came from. Because I get health evaluations all the time and it has a name on it that I never even met this person. I don't know, well, how'd you get my link? Again, so that I can go to the referred by spot and see, oh, okay, it was Joe Smith that shared my link with her because Joe's a really good client of mine and Jennifer took the thing. So now I'll call Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, I know you must be friends with Joe Smith. And she's like, yeah, I know Joe. And he sent me this link. I'm suffering from this, and this. He said, you could help me. So then it all makes sense in my brain. So that's what's happening there. Also, we're running a huge campaign now on what is your health score. So you're going to see things all over Facebook. What is your health score? What is your health score? We got buttons. We're going to have t-shirts. We're going to have hats. We're going to have, everything in the world that you're going to ask. What we're branding the heck out of a phrase called, what is your health score? Because everyone in the world needs to know their health score. And the only way you can know your health score is if you take the health evaluation. So we're going to brand the heck out of this. This is the absolute best way to build your business is just get obsessed with getting people to take the health evaluation. And we will teach you exactly how to do that. So it's really crystal clear to you and you understand why this is the greatest way to build a business. 85% of the population doesn't want to build a business here at Youngevity. They're not interested in being an entrepreneur. So we want to keep things product orientated up front. Once they get results, we're going to ask them, hey, Joe, do you have any interest in learning how our affiliate program works, how our business works? Do you have any interest in making some extra money on the side? Do you have any interest in having a side hustle? And if he says, yes, I'll take a look at that. Great. If not, no big deal. So 85% of your business is going to be customer based. Okay. That's the strongest business. It's the best place to find business builders from. You got this pool of healthy people that you've helped raise their health evaluation score. They will be super interested in becoming a business builder with you. So the whole campaign has got to be based on what is your health score. People are always curious. Curiosity is a great marketing tool because people are like, well, I don't know, but they want to know, so they'll take the health evaluation. So we got to become obsessed with the health score. That's why we had to change the scoring so that 100 was a perfect health score, because people in their brains, they got a program running like they were back in school. In high school, we've all gone to high school. We know that 100 is a perfect score. It doesn't make sense in people's brains that a 0 is a perfect score. Like, okay, like I got a 32 on that test. Like, everyone would say that's not good. So we're just conditioned to know that 100 is perfect because of our backgrounds, what we've been through in our lives. So we had to make that change because people are like, yeah, I went on these Youngevity products and my health score dropped by 60 points. Well, I don't want those products. I don't even know what my health score is, but I definitely know I don't want it to drop by 60 points. So we had to make a change so that when the testimonies come out, and this whole business is grown through stories. You've got to have your own story and you've got to be obsessed with creating stories. The story is, I was here, and we need to know what here is. And it's better to have a number to say, I was at this number, like I was at this weight, then I went on this program, and now I weigh this amount. Like, people understand that. But you can't say, well, like I was kind of a sick here, didn't feel well, didn't have good energy, or didn't feel good, didn't have optimal health. And then I took this and now I feel a little bit better. Like, that's good. But boy, if we could attach a number to that somehow, That would be super powerful. Like, it would be as powerful as losing weight. It would be as powerful as saying, yeah, I was broke, before I was in Youngevity. I was making this much money. I was making, 30,000 a year at my job. I joined Youngevity. Now I'm making 30,000 a month. Like, people understand that. Like, holy cow, that's incredible. They can quantify the whole thing in that you turned your yearly income into your monthly income. Like, so that's just, people's brains work with numbers. They can totally understand the significance of that. Okay, hope that makes sense. So we want people to say, I started out, met this guy, Paul. He made me take a health evaluation. My score was 32. Then he put me on these products. He worked with me over a 3-month period. My score went from 32 to 92. I've never felt this good in my whole life. Now, when they make that post, when they make that story, it's super powerful. Like, people understand the difference between a 32 and a 92. Okay. And the cool thing about this, the really cool thing about this is that, the FTC is really coming down on health companies like Youngevity. Nothing's happening in Youngevity, but I'm just saying, as an industry as a whole, they really watch when you make health claims. Like, we can never say that we help someone with diabetes, or we help someone with arthritis, or we help someone, can't even say you help someone with a headache. It's crazy out there that, migraine is a medical term all of a sudden. Anyways, I digress. The whole thing about saying my health score went up is not a claim. Okay. So there's nothing illegal about saying that. So you can say that all day long. You can post it on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you want to paste it. And it's not illegal. So it's just fantastic when we can say, hey, listen, I took Joe Smith from a 32 to a 90. We got to make those. If you want your business to crank, if you want to make an impact on people, get obsessed about where their health score is when they start, and you work with them and you help them get it to this number. Okay. So that is, if you can find a problem, the problem is the score is 32, and provide a solution. How do you solve this problem of poor health, nutrient deficiencies, showing up as these symptoms in this person's body? You can fix those symptoms. You can make as much money as you want. It's absolutely phenomenal. So, so we're obsessed with the health score. So you got to get obsessed with the score initially, and then retesting them every 30 days to graph and chart and keep track of their progression. We wouldn't just put someone on a weight loss program and then have them weigh themselves in 90 days. Like, where is the, adjustments being made? How do we know if we're doing good or bad all through that thing? No, I don't suggest weighing yourself every day. I don't suggest taking a health evaluation every single day. But, with weight, I have people weigh themselves once a week. I think that's a little bit much for the health evaluation system because your body, it's going to take some time. It's been nutrient deficient for 30 years. So it's going to take some time to recover and rebuild and stuff. So, but 30 days, boy, that's a great time period. So you got to be super diligent on having your clients take this health evaluation every 30 days, chart their number to see if it's going up. If it's not on our info site, we have a tab called troubleshooting, and we'll go through that tab with you. I'll go through an example, multiple examples of people that I work with that I've been able to, their score did not go up. Okay. So now what do we do? How do we fix that? So I'll teach you how to do all of that, how I do it, how Dr. Wallach does it, so that they are always making progress, always having that health score going up. So as so let's just go into the scoring part of things. So at the top of every page, we scored people on a scale from 0 to 5. But we were using words like never, rarely, occasionally, often, always, and severe. So, like knee pain, we're asking about knee pain now. Okay. Like if they had knee pain 20 years ago and, because they hit their knee on their car door, like that's not what we're asking here. We're trying to find out if they have a calcium deficiency. So, too many people are like, yeah, my knee hurt like once 10 years ago. So I'm going to put one rarely. And you get these people putting all these ones and twos down, and it's driving their score way down. Like we got people actually scoring in the negative. And they just didn't know. They thought, well, rarely. Yeah, I rarely have knee problems. Sometimes I do. Like I remember like 4 years ago I did. Like that's not rarely. Okay, so we got rid of those words. We actually changed some wording here. So let me just look at my notes here about what exactly we did on this here. I'm gonna get the so here's the exact wording we're going to use now. So please score yourself on a scale from 0 to 5 on the questions below by simply clicking on the number that best describes how severe that symptom is currently affecting you. Okay, so we're not looking for, oh, that happens often or that happens always. We want to know right now on a scale from 0 to 5, how is that affecting you currently? Now, currently doesn't have to mean exactly today, because, over the past month, I'm getting headaches quite often. Every couple days I get a headache. Today I don't have a headache, but every couple days over the past month I have been. So I don't mean literally today, but currently, like in the past month, in the past time frame, maybe it's a little bit longer, maybe it's 90 days, but if they ask like, okay, how far do I go back? Like I wouldn't go back past 90 days for sure. Now, some of these things, as we'll go through it, 90 days makes sense because it did happen kind of recently. So we use the word currently. We could use the word recently, but so we really struggled writing that sentence so that people would understand what we mean. Now, people understand 5 stars. Like you go shopping on Amazon, 5 stars. Like everything in the world now is 5, based out of 5. So we know what 1 star is. We know what 5 stars is. It's kind of become like intuition for us now. So we took the words out and there's just numbers there now. So all we're looking for is how severely is this problem at the one, 5 this is a really big problem for me. 2, it's kind of a problem, but not a huge problem. So it's not, all along, we really weren't looking for the word occasionally, even though we typed it in there. We were looking for, it's kind of a problem, but kind of not. It's a 2. A 3 is a little bit bigger problem. Like, yeah, like, okay, so I have high blood pressure. So using the word often or occasionally, like, how can your blood pressure be occasionally high? Like either it's not or it is. Like, okay, sometimes I test it and it goes down. So we're just asking, what is this blood pressure at? Is it like a number 5, really big problem? Or is it like, yeah, it's slightly elevated. It's like a 2, on the problem scale, if you will. So people are going to be we're going to ask them to be more intuitive in scoring themselves on the 0 to 5. Like, just tell me, like, in your own opinion, if your blood pressure is, super sky high, of course it's a 5. If it's a 0, you don't want to, we're not going to have the word never there. It's just going to be like, I don't have that problem. It's just my blood pressure is fine. So it's a 0. So hope that makes sense. So we're getting rid of the words up on top of each 0 to 5, and now just putting a number because we want people to use their intuition more on how bad this problem is, or this symptom is right now. So is really what each question is. And we also lowered the questions in each category, like I said, to only 20. So now there's far less questions. Now we combined some together to achieve that. We felt like, so let's just take, so one was like, we had joint pain. Do you have any joint pain? And then we asked, a little bit lower, do you have knee pain? Well, so it's unfair to them because they're going to score 5, obviously, that I have joint pain because my knee hurts. And then when they get to knee pain, they're going to score 5 more. So not like we're penalizing them 10 points for the same symptom, same problem. That's not right. So let's not ask, do you have joint problem and knee problem? So do you have any joint pain? So elbow joint, knee joint, hip joint, that covers a lot. So let's just leave that there and get rid of, do you have knee pain? So we don't need to ask, do you have knee pain? Do you have hip pain? Do you have neck pain? Like all these, we don't need to ask each one individually. Let's just ask if you have any kind of joint pain. So hope that we took the questions and kept the higher level ones, the broader picture ones, and got rid of the real specific ones, because we were almost saying the same thing twice in some situations. Not a lot, but some situations. So all that's gone now. So that'll be fixed. So each category, we did that. We fixed some of the questions under the last page, the fifth page, where it says, gallbladder was in the wrong spot. I think it was under male questions or something like that, that we had to move that. So there's a couple of things that we did under there. And we're also now officially moving the link. So actually we were using a link when they decided to go buy the products to go to the Buy YGY website, because that website was working so good, and the company was going through some issues on making the Youngevity.com website work really well. It's working perfect now. Feel 100% confident with that. I use it every single day myself. So now all of your links will go to your Youngevity.com personal site, where people can go and buy products right from your health evaluation. So you don't need to send a link to your health evaluation site and to your Youngevity site to go buy things. Your Youngevity link is already part of your health evaluation system. So when you send them a link to your health evaluation info page, that page is linked to your health evaluation. So it goes to your personal health evaluation. It goes to your personal Youngevity page so they can order. So everything is you. So it's one-stop shopping, if you will. You don't need to send people 3 different links. You can just send them one link to the info site, which takes them every place, and every place that's you. Okay. Last but not least, actually 2 more things left to go over here. So the results page, when that comes up, again, we want to get people use terminology that people were used to. You're used to being in school and you got an A, a B, a C, a D, and everyone knows what those letters mean. We want to use that same thing here with the health evaluation system. So we're obsessed now with this concept of optimal health. Like, that's what we do here at Youngevity. What makes Youngevity different than every other nutrition company out there? We're the only nutrition company that can help people achieve this thing called optimal health. So that's why we ask, what is your health score? We want to know that because a health score of 100 is considered optimal health. Anywhere between 90 to 100 is optimal health. Like, if you scored a 92, that's still an A. You have this, could you have maybe a little bit something going on? Maybe. Keep taking your 90, keep taking your add-on products. You'll be at 100, okay? So we're not really concerned about anyone that scores between 90 to 100. But again, using Dr. Wallach's brain, you start scoring like 80 points. So 80 means, let's just say you got 5 in each category, 5 points taken off. So we have to look at the human body as a whole. We want to look at people as it's a holistic nutrition. So we're looking at the whole picture here, So to get 20 points off, and it doesn't really matter how it came, whether it's 5 from each category or it was, 10 from one and 10 from another. When you get down to an 80, it's a B, and, we're going to call that minimal nutrition deficiencies. Like, there is a sign now that you got an 80 to 90 kind of range. There's some hint there that you have some nutritional deficiencies. So, but now if you're scoring like 70, so now you got 30 points off, so you probably got some significant points off in at least 2 or 3 categories. We feel like at that point, we're going to say you got a pretty moderate nutrition deficiencies. Like, there's a lot of evidence there now where we can connect the dots and confidently tell you with integrity that you got a moderate nutrition deficiency going on in your body. You need to take the 90 for sure. at this range here. Even at the 80 to 90, you definitely need to take it. Of course, even people who have optimal health are going to want to take it so they don't go backwards. Like, it's not called 90 for life. You take it until you feel better, then you stop. You keep taking it. The reason why you got optimal health is because you've been taking the stuff. Everything, as Dr. Wallach teaches us, is a nutrient deficiency. If you have no problems, you got to keep your nutrients up so that you don't get any problems. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. We want to prevent the health score from going down. Okay, we got to get into that business of prevention here at Youngevity, not just helping people that got a health score of 30. Those people are like the most nutrient deficient people on the planet we seem to attract here. So let's help people that don't have any deficiencies, get them on the 90 so that, we can help with prevention. My favorite word. So hope that makes sense that, yeah, you know what, like what are we going to call someone that's got 30 points off on this thing? And what the problem was is that we currently, like at this moment, we were calling them, I don't even know what the wording exactly is, but we were saying that you're very sick, but we were using some sort of wording like that you got poor health. I think that's what we said, and people would say, no, I don't consider myself poor health. Okay, well, you scored 30 things off. Okay, now it could have been a bunch of ones, but usually it's like some 3s, some 4s, some 2s, somehow they got 30 points off. And people have just become so accustomed to having the knee problem, the headache, the this, the that, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, all these problems that they're like, I don't really consider myself poor health. I consider like that guy over there in the hospital, he's got poor health. Like, so people's, scale in their brain is just skewed. Like, listen, you got 30 points off, and just because you become accustomed to finding a way to live with these problems doesn't mean you're healthy. Okay. You got a problem. And we've had people very young scoring 70 or 60. And they're like, oh, well, my daughter is as healthy as can be. How dare you say she's in poor health? Well, first of all, listen, she got 40 points off here. Okay. She got at least 10 off in all 4 categories, which means she's got a severe deficiency in all 4 of these. So it was wrong of us to say you're in poor health because, listen, she's only 18 years old. So it didn't get to show up yet as a hip replacement. I'm just letting you know that's the road she's on. I don't mean to scare you or anything like that. I'm just shooting straight with you. That's the road she's on. Call me 30 years. I guarantee you something major is going to be going on. I don't know how it's going to show up in her body. Could show up as a hip replacement at 60. Could show up as high blood pressure when she's 55. I don't know. I don't know what age it's going to show up. I don't know how it's going to show up in her. I'm just telling you it's going to show up because I can already see that she's nutrient deficient. Most 18-year-olds hasn't even had a nutrient yet. First of all, they don't eat that great. And second of all, even if they did, we know there's no nutrients in the soil. So to see a teenager score in the 60s or below, very common. Dr. Wallach says, Paul, you're only going to see scores below 50 in younger people. They've never had a nutrient. Oh, well, I give my daughter some broccoli every night at dinner. Listen, broccoli doesn't contain anything, okay? And if it did, it's got a little bit of vitamin A, but what about the other 89 nutrients that she didn't get today, okay? So children are going to score extremely low when taking this health evaluation. Doesn't mean they're in the hospital dying yet. But Dr. Wallach says this is going to be the era where more and more parents will be burying their children. And that's sad. That makes me want to get up early in the morning and stay up really late at night and make hundreds of people take this health evaluation so that I can save their life, because they need to be aware. And I'm going to tell them, listen, you took the score. You're the one that scored them. I didn't use some fancy device. And I'm against these Ziodes or whatever they are. You put your hand on something and it's supposed to magically check your body to see that. I just don't believe in it. I believe that they checked off a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, because they know their body. They're telling us, hey, Paul, my shoulder hurts all the freaking time. There's a 5 pain going on in here. Okay. Now, do we know that's a calcium deficiency? Is it a hard tissue problem or is it a soft tissue problem? Like, we don't even know. Is it the muscle that hurts or is it the tendons that hurt? Okay. So let's ask some more questions to see if we can connect some dots. Oh, look at this. We connect a couple more dots. So now we know for sure that it's a soft tissue problem, not a ligament problem in there. And they're like, well, what are you, some doctor? Like, how do you know that's not a ligament problem? Well, listen, you scored all these points in category 2, but only 2 points in category 1. So something else probably would have popped up if that was a ligament problem or, going on. So we can figure out what the problem is, because we it could be 3 different things that are causing it. But because we're able to get other questions asked in that same category, we can start connecting the dots, seeing how high the score is in that one particular category, and being able to make an educated recommendation to them on what they should be taking. Okay. So it's optimal health, 90 to 100, minimal nutrition deficiencies, 80 to 90, 70 to 79, moderate. Now we're talking at least, 10 off in 3 of the 4 categories. That's pretty significant. 60 to 69, significant nutrition deficiencies. Now we're looking at someone that's had 10 off in each of the categories, probably, or maybe 15 here and some there. So it may not be exactly 10, 10, and 10, usually isn't, but with 60 points off, like, oh my gosh, like this person, we got to get to 90 in them today. Like, we ain't got tomorrow. We got today to get it inside of them. If they're scoring a 60 or below, a 60 to a 70. If it's below 60, that means they probably scored more than 10 points in each of the 4 categories. First of all, the first thing that's going to point to me and tell me severe digestion problem. Okay. Whenever you see scores 10 or more in at least 3 categories, even if the digestion score isn't that high, it's a digestion problem. So we want to get their digestive system fixed. We want to show them the good foods and bad food list. Get them off gluten is the number one thing. And the most important thing now is microbiome. That's the most important thing you can do to fix someone's digestive system. It is the ultimate product in the world for fixing digestion. There's no product that comes close now. So really focus in on that microbiome product. So that's it. That is the scoring. It's A, B, C, D, failing. Below 60, failing. So you can give them a score just like we did in school. We want to avoid people scoring super low. Like, there was some people getting a negative 20. Like, how could that happen? We know they're sick, but they shouldn't be that sick. And when I've gone back and looked at the clients that I have that are scoring that low, it's because they put a whole bunch of 1s and 2s in there. And I go back and ask them, I'm like, well, you said you had, knee pain, like a 2. Like, no, well, that happened like 17 years ago. I'm like, well, geez, like, okay. So they put occasionally, because it happened 17 years ago and 23 years ago. Like, that's not occasionally. Okay. So don't put a 2 there. That's a 0. So when we went back through and I went through it with them and told them, no, that's not a 2, that's a 0, So all of a sudden their score went from negative 20 to, a 78. I mean, it drastically went up just because they were scoring themselves wrong. And maybe it was the wording that we were using or maybe you didn't explain things well enough to them before they took the health evaluation. So we want to make it clear to the people who are taking it. And we want them to take it on their own. They should understand this, and it shouldn't be super difficult to do. It should be intuitive, for them. So hopefully with these changes we've made, it becomes more intuitive to them, and we don't get these super low scores that are not actually true. Because if you had a knee problem 17 years ago and you haven't had one since, then we can't count that. It's not a relative problem to now. We can't officially say that you have a calcium deficiency because you're banging your knee on the door of your car 17 years ago. It just doesn't make sense. So with that said, I've gone over here a little bit, but this is a really, really important call. I'll get on here all the time and answer your questions. As a matter of fact, we're turning this into a certification program now. So when I first got to Youngevity, I got to, really hang out with Dr. Wallach. I've got a master's degree in nutrition, and I understand that people are joining the health evaluation system. They really want to help people. They just don't know how. You know, they don't know what I know and what a lot of people here at Youngevity know. I mean, there's some super smart people here at Youngevity, you know, I mean, like smarter than any doctor in the world at knowing what the root cause is of this problem, not writing out some kind of script and saying, take this so we can put some masking tape, some duct tape over the problem. They know what the root cause is, why this is happening in the first place. So we got a lot of really smart people here, but obviously new people coming in. Maybe that's you watching this video right now. You don't know the root cause of things or how the human body works or really how Dr. Wallach's brain works and why we consider him the best doctor ever to live. So what I'm going to do is a certification program. You'll get an official piece of paper at the end of this. That means you've gone through my course, you know, and Cheryl Morley will be doing this with me, and we're going to be talking about the products here at Youngevity. We're going to be talking about the different health categories, the different health problems that are relevant out there, you know, that we see a lot of. So we're going to, you know, slowly but surely go through this, and you're going to learn about this, some advanced nutrition program or some advanced nutrition schooling, if you will. You can actually, you know, you don't just want to just run the system and not be intelligent about it. You know, now we're not trying to turn you into a doctor or, you know, a nutrition expert per se, but you need to know enough to, you know, feel comfortable helping people, you know, because I know you want to make an impact on people's lives. I don't think we've done a good enough job of training everybody how to do that. Even though the health evaluation system is awesome, there needs to be more explanation about it. And when you get to the results page, how to explain it to them, how to make recommendations, what exactly is going on in their body, and have you be able to ask us, hey, I got this person, their health score was this, I put them on this stuff, this is what they're currently taking, this is the diet they're on, you know, what do I need to do to fix this, you know, or get this moving in the right direction, whatever. So we'll be able to help you with that here in the health evaluation system. We'll do live classes. So there'll be a program to go through, initial certification program where you'll watch a series of videos that will fully explain, you know, really how to become a health coach, a true health coach to people, and be an expert at helping people raise their health score. That's what we do. We help people raise their health score. We help people achieve optimal health, which is a health score of 90 to 100, get them in that above 90 range. So it won't cost you anything to do that as part of your monthly membership here at the Health Evaluation System. You're paying $9 a month or whatever, you know, or $100 a year, part of the program. So, you know, normally a program like this would, you know, we'd charge $500, $1,000 for something like this. My college degree cost me $125,000. So I'm going to teach you all of the things that I learned in college and from Dr. Wallach for free. As being part of the health evaluation system. So that's going to start very, very soon. And you're going to be, you know, I want to help you become an expert in this and not only help make an impact on people here in this new decade, but be able to grow your Youngevity business. I know that we're looking for not only physical health, but also emotional health in your life and financial health. So how can we do that? Impact drives income. Okay. So you need to make an impact on people's lives. There's no impact you can make on a person's life greater than helping them raise their health score. There's nothing. You know, if someone is dead, they're no good to anybody. So we got to keep people alive. We got to keep not just being alive, but quality of life. You know, who wants to live the last 10, 20 years of their life in a bed? And we know so many people like that right now, that they're just bedridden. Oh yeah, they lived to 72, but they haven't had a life since 62. You know, so you don't want to have that poor quality of health. You know, you want to live long and have a, you know, great health all through it there. And you know, we got to stay on top of this and make sure the health score is always there. So I hope all this made sense. If you got questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll get back on here tomorrow, Friday, whatever, Saturday, go over things again with you. Hope this was pretty clear. You know, reach out to me and we'll make this work together. Thank you for all your patience. Thank you for sticking with us. I can't encourage you enough to use this health evaluation system. By Friday, it should be in good shape. I don't know what time Friday. You know how this programming stuff can go too. So hopefully it'll be all done. It's the second it is, I'll let everyone know. And we can go through it together, you know, and check things and really together make a huge impact on people's lives help people. And again, you can have anything you want in life as long as you help enough people get what they want. And what people want is to feel good. They want to feel good. They want to look good. They want a health score that's 100. So we can do that. And I'm going to explain to you exactly how I got my health score to 100, how I've helped hundreds of people get their health score to 100, how I became a 5-star executive here at Youngevity by focusing on helping people get their health score to 100. You've got to become obsessed with that. Okay? I'm going to take off now. Anybody got any questions? I'll answer the questions down in the chat here, and we'll talk soon. Have a great day, everybody.